Hey guys, welcome back to opening Digimon booster packs. Last time we started off opening Double Diamond and found some interesting cards and explained some stuff since, well, you know me. I love trying to flex my Digimon knowledge, even though I don't have as much Digimon knowledge as some other people. There's some people online that like live, breathe, and eat Digimon, and while I'd love to say I'm much of the same, I just can't reach their level of knowing Digimon like the back of my penis. Demonetized! Don't worry, we were never monetized in the first place. But you might be able to help me get monetized. You subscribe to my OnlyFans. What do I do on OnlyFans? I open Digimon cards. Okay. That was weird. My friend told me he showed like an entire like very summarized history of MGS, Metal Gear Solid, and he was just telling me about it. So interesting. Anyway, I think it's kind of a hard series to kind of see one video about and then try and know everything about it. So anyway, enough about my lack of money or Digimon and how many loans I have to take out to open these Digimon packs. Either way, we're gonna go right into it. And if you see a card in this video that I kind of skim over, and you want it to be read a little bit further on, or to be read at least a little bit more extensively, go back to an earlier episode because I will have most likely talked about it. So anyway, here's the other memory slot. It looks blue, just like my man, Vmon. Anyway, let's look at this one. This one has less cards on the side. Interesting. Anyway, did I knock this out of the way, or no? I'm just dumb. Anyway, let's see. So for super rares, we got Mommy Mon. I would not want that one. Ginkakumon, that would be fine. Ogremon, Titamon, I'll be fine. Eosmon, probably would want more of that. There's the rest of the Tamers. Her name was Buselli. Busellini. Buselli. Manoa Buselli. I just can't say that name for some reason. Manoa. So her name is Manoa as far as I see. Anyway, the others are, we've got two secret rares in Alphamon and Belle Starmon, and a super rare in Omnimon. So who knows? Even though I do own an Omnimon now because I bought it off TCG Player just, to actually have an Omnimon, we might actually pull an Omnimon. But the thing I'd want to get out of here, you may be thinking like, Dorumon guy, he's got to want Alphamon, but nah. Sometimes you got to be down bad and down good. Anyway, let's get on to the cards, everybody. Let's see what kind of interesting stuff can be found. Let's see, my phone went off again. Now she understands the power of the hog. I think she understands the power of a hog in a different way, Isaiah, but okay. Anyway, we've got Tapirmon, along with, I don't remember what that Digimon is called, but I think it's the more modern champion form of Tapirmon, since sometimes Tapirmon is seen as like the rookie of Monochromon, or this thing. So, Tapirmon is one of those Digimon that never really had a full evolution line, so I'm not quite sure what they're going with for there. But he's just kind of hanging out in heaven, I guess. Not quite sure. He has no ability, but his inheritable reads, your turn, once per turn. When a card is removed from your security stack, trigger draw one. So that would be pretty good with Dynasmon, which I talked about last episode. So you guys probably won't know what that means until you do it, but if you want to go back and watch the last episode when I talk about how Dynasmon is actually pretty good, then you know what to do. I hope you do. Anyway, Eosmon, champion level Eosmon. Its ability is on play, you may play one white Tamer with a play cost of 4 or less from your hand without paying its memory cost. Then your opponent may play one Tamer card from their hand without paying its memory cost. I mean, if you're able to predict when your opponent doesn't have a Tamer card in their hand, that might be beneficial, but most decks will at least run one Tamer, so that could be a little bit bad for you. And then its inheritable reads, when attacking, you may play one white Tamer card with a player cost of 4 or less from your hand without paying memory cost. So you can multiply Manoa, I guess. Unless you're running something like Cool Boy or Analog Youth. which could be helpful in this deck, but I'm not sure. Anyway, it is a champion, so you may be wondering why it can only evolve from a green? Well, Morphomon is green, so that's what it's kind of targeting. Either way, it's a pretty nice looking card. We don't want to skip yet. Oh yeah, there's where all the white ones go. Anyway, we've got Gizumon, and he's kind of doing like a Sonic the Hedgehog thing, I guess, rolling into a ball. Not quite sure. Anyway, its inheritable, since it has no ability, is your turn, while your opponent has no Digimon with Digivolution cards in play, this Digimon gets plus 2000 DP. Like I always say with blue, sometimes that ability is very specific, and usually Digivolution is common throughout every deck, so you'd have to find ways to get rid of Digivolution cards, which can sometimes be costly, so kind of a situational card. Anyway, we've got Gabarimon, or Goblinmon in this case. Do I have cards that have Gabarimon instead of Goblinmon on them? I don't know. I think most of my cards say Goblinmon on them, but I've just grown up with like World, Dusk and Dawn, and DS, and I always have just, called him Gabarimon, so that's just where my bias comes from. Anyway, Gabarimon and his two little dudes just kind of hanging out and, well, random fuck knows who where. Who fuck knows? Fuck. Don't you just love that word? Anyway, it has no ability, but its inheritable says your turn once per turn. When you would trash a card in your hand using one of your effects, this Digimon gets plus 2000 DP for the turn. So, it's okay. Nothing amazing. Oh, here's our first repeat. We got another Chikurimon. Oh, another repeat. We've got Shoutmon. And Mistymon. Alright, this is new. We got Impmon. Kind of using that weird attack where he uses, like, fire and ice to attack. I forget what it's called. Is it called Heaven or Hell? No, I think that's just from Guilty Gear. Either way, it's like an attack where you can use both elements. So I think that's what he's trying to do here. Anyway, its ability says, on play, you may trash one card in your hand. If you do, you may return one Digimon card with the 7 Great Demon Lords or 3 Musketeers in its types from your trash to your hand. So, you may be wondering, what does that mean? 3 Musketeers and 7 Demon Lords? Well, if you've been living under a rock for a while, or you may have ever heard of Belle Starmon, and if you've been living under an even bigger rock for so long, you may have heard of Beelstarmon. Now, Beelstarmon was from Tamer's, and later on became the Demon Lord of Gluttony. So, at some point, somebody thought it was a good idea to turn Beelstarmon into an anime girl. And from there, they created Belle Starmon. And Belle Starmon is just a female version of Beelstarmon that looks more human, but, I like Belle Starmon because, you know who I am. So that's why Impmon is still the rookie for both sides of that coin. So that's why it talks about both 7 Great Demon Lords trying to target Beelstarmon and 3 Musketeers with Belle Starmon. So, very cool. Alright, we got Flamemon, the rookie level of a Goonimon. Kind of just hanging out in a lava. Yes, he was hanging out in a volcano area with, like, it looks like just a massive explosion going off, or like maybe a rocket ship falling towards him, but I know it's just meant to be the sun. But, I like to keep that as my new headcanon. Anyway, Flamemon has no ability, but his inheritable reads, your turn, while this Digimon has hybrid or 10 warriors in its form or type, it gains piercing. So, might be good. I don't really hear much about red cards getting piercing, but it could be something worthwhile. Alright, we got Pile Volcanomon, which is the mega level of Volcanomon. If you ever look at that card is very strange. It's literally just a weird gray guy in a weird helmet has a microphone. He just screams into it. He barely looks like a volcano, but that's just what he's called. Anyway, it doesn't even call it Pile Volcanomon. It calls it Pile Volcamon. Anyway, Pile Volcamon's ability is Reboot. It's also just attacking Metal Edamon, like I think all of us would want to. And it also has opponent's turn once per turn. When one of your other Digimon is deleted, trigger D-Digivolve 1 on one of your opponent's Digimon. I would rather it, delete the Digimon it attacked. But might be worth it. Oh, we got Magna Kidmon, which is one of the three musketeers, the other two being, well, Belle Starmon, and then my favorite Digimon ever, Gundramon, who is literally just, well, a giant fucking dinosaur made of guns. So I'm looking to see if Gundramon's even on here. Because Belle Starmon is. Trying to see if Gundramon is. Just because that would be awesome if we got... Yep, Gundramon is on this. It's a rare. And, well, Magna Kidmon is also a rare. This one I've always kind of had trouble remembering that it was part of the Three Musketeers. But I do have another card that is Avenge Kidmon, which isn't counted as Three Musketeers. And I've always been confused on what that means. Either way, Magna Kidmon's the one I forget a bunch, but he does look really cool. Kind of looks like Gyro Sapelli if he was red. You won't get that unless you've seen JoJo. Not even seen if you've read JoJo. Anyway, Magna Kidmon's ability is Security Attack +1. And when digivolving, you may use one option card with a memory cost of 7 in your hand without paying its memory cost. If you don't, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 4,000 DP or less. I mean, Security Attack out the gate is pretty good. And then, I guess you could, like, freely play option cards. It really matters on what option cards you're playing, though. Because there are specific ones like Flying Bullet that Belle Starmon like uses and stuff, but it really matters on what you're using. It's a really cool art though. Anyway, we've got a Zoolongmon. How many Zoolongmons do you think I have at this point? Like, not even like you could be talking about like how many I own as a number. You could talk about how many different versions of him I own. I've got a lot of a Zoolongmon. Either way, being one of the Digimon Sovereign, it's a super rare. Second super rare, and it's something I don't give a shit about. Either way, its ability is, when digivolving, trash one Digivolution card from the bottom of all of your opponent's Digimon, then gain one memory for each of your opponent's Digimon with no Digivolution cards. You know, that might not be super useful when, like, you know, you may have removed one, but they've still got, like, 4 underneath it, so they've still got 3 left, so not great. Then your turn. For each Digimon with no Digivolution cards in your opponent in play, this Digimon gets Security Attack +1. So that would probably be an ability you want to go for. Kind of set it up so you could turn this guy into like a +3 or something. So, second ability, better. First ability, kind of lackluster. But, you know, I've got so many Zoolongmon cards now that it's like, you know, if I don't have them all, then I think I'll be wrecking my record. Wrecking the record. WreckItRalph, I'm gonna wreck it. I'm gonna wreck your asshole. Thanks, WreckItRalph. I always knew you could. I always knew you could. What does that mean? Okay, so, oh wait, I thought that was Impmon for a second. Either way, we've got a Goblinmon, Gizumon, Eosmon champion form. Alright, we got Boogeyman. Boogeymon's a weird guy. He's literally got no ability or inheritable, but he just looks like a weird... If you've ever played SMT or Persona, you might have seen Incubus. This just reminds me of Incubus without the penis. So, he shows up in, like, Ghost Game, if I remember correctly, but he's kind of just, like, a boring-looking Digimon. He looks like a stereotypical, like, devil. Alright, we got Bakuman, which is like a box. It's kind of like, you ever seen... This is going to be a very weird reference. You ever seen Tamer's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or whatever? To explain that, first of all, Sonic is weird. I think we all know that. But the Sonic fans are even weirder. I think we all know that. He's a guy who apparently is into Sonic Underground and wanted Sonic Underground to have more episodes. So he made the episodes, like he made his own episodes, like hand-drawn and stuff, and he uploaded them up to YouTube. And anytime he's on camera himself, he wore like a box. He wore like boxes all over him to represent himself. The problem is nobody knows if he's actually like, you know, for reals, because it seems like all the stuff he makes is so like, how do you come up with that? Like, it's aware it's bad. He's aware what he's making is bad, but he still pretends like he thinks these are good. So nobody knows if he's a troll or if he's an actual person. Either way, the story of how that relates to this is that this guy is wearing boxes on his head. That is the only way. That is the only connection I came up with. But there's a little bit of Sonic lore. never look up, or if you want to kill yourself, look up Tamer's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or whatever it's called. It's definitely a riot for Sonic fans who see the most weird shit ever, but if you're just a normal person, unless you're into the morbid curiosity of horrible Sonic stuff, I'd probably say steer clear. Anyway, Bakuman has Makomon and Niaomon just kind of hanging around him. I guess I was thinking about why is that, but it's like, oh, cats like boxes. So, that's the joke. Anyway, Bakuman has no ability, but his inheritable says, when attacking, if your opponent has 2 or more suspended Digimon, gain 1 memory. I think I just like the story I made about him more than his ability. I didn't really make it about him. I just kind of related it to something. Next up, we got Octomon. He's a very weird Digimon. He's an oldie, but I remember from Ghost Game, the newest series, that these little thingies on him, he's got like barnacles on his head. Those are like Digimon as well. And they'll connect to humans and give them horns and kill them at some point. So that was kind of a scary episode. Anyway. Just showing Octomon, like, stealing treasure and stuff. From Hookmon, who's just kind of in the background there, so kind of funny. Really useless, though, with no ability. A Bulkmon. Alright, we got Gabumon hanging out at, like, maybe, like, the crossings of, like, Redigitize, maybe? Not sure. Either way, Gabumon is very angry about something, or very determined, maybe. And its ability is all turns, once per turn. When you would play a Tamer with Matt Ishita in its name, gain 1 memory. Then when attacking once per turn, if this Digimon has Gabumon Bond of Friendship, you may unsuspend it. So, I don't really know the rulings with the Bond cards yet, since I don't have them, so we're going to have to see how useful that is later on. Alright, we've got Ginkakumon Promote. Ginkakumon is kind of a strange Digimon. It kind of goes along with another Digimon that is like Kakumon, but I forget the first part of it. It's pretty much the rookie level of Minervamon, which is really interesting, making this maybe the champion form of Minervamon, so interesting, but I don't know if the other one is even in here. Like, besides, that's not even the original Ginkakumon. I'm trying to see if there's the other one through these cards. Like, I pick up the cards, and I see if I can see that name, or at least something that's kind of related to it. Alright, let me see. Let me look through my cards. I mean, it's pretty nice just to know what kinds of cards you could get in here. Just because you may not be able to know, because when you open something up, you just, well, you're not told every card that you could get in here. You're only ever just seeing, like, the top cards and just hoping, that'd be pretty cool if I got one of the other ones. And it's like, I guess so. I'm not seeing it yet. I'm going over to the blue one now. Ginkakumon. It's not... So this is Ginkakumon. We gotta look for Ginkakumon. So we might be able to talk about her in this episode, but who knows. Anyway, Ginkakumon Promote has the ability Rush. And then on play, you may place one Ginkakumon or one Ginkakumon from the trash in this card's Digivolution cards in any order. If you place 2 cards in this ability, trigger draw 1 and gain 1 memory. So, I guess that is a reason to have like a 6 play cost, but still, a play cost of that might be a little bit too much. But there are cards that let you play level 4 Digimon. This is a level 4 Digimon. It's kind of like a slide evolution because it shows a 1 from a 4. So, that might be a good way of like getting all those cards out in the field pretty easily. But yeah, that's not what Ginkakumon usually looks like. He's kind of got like a thing on his chest, but he's meant to be like drinking alcohol and shit, so it's definitely like his stronger mode, I guess. Anyway, we've seen this card. We actually got the alternative art from it as the very first card, so it's nice to see why they're all hanging out. Anyway, we got Matt Ishita. It's not OG Matt or even 2020 Matt. This is Matt from last Evolution, hanging out with the D1 Digivice. I still don't know why the Digivice turned from regular Digivice to the colored ones back to the regular ones and try, but not sure. Anyway, Matt's ability is your turn. When one of your Digimon with Gabumon or Garurumon in its name moves from breeding area to the battle area, gain 1 memory and trigger draw 1. Then main, once per turn, Digivolve your Gabumon into 1 Gabumon Bond of Friendship in your hand for its Digivolution cost, ignoring the level. If you do, trash the top 2 cards of your security stack. Then if you have one or more security cards, delete that Digimon at the end of the turn. So pretty much, I guess, the Bond of Friendship is like a Hail Mary card, if anything. Then its security just says to play the card. So, I mean, definitely synergizes with Bond, and is kind of the reason why Gabumon has that. If it's called Bond, it gets to attack twice. So, not bad. Anyway, we got the villain. We got Manoa Buselli. I can't figure out her name. Anyway, her ability is start of the turn. If you have two or less memories, set your memory to 3. Your turn, when you would have an Eosmon. When you play an Eosmon, you may suspend this Tamer to reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 Tamer card or 1 Digimon card with Eosmon in its name among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck in any order. Then opponent's turn, while you have an Eosmon in play, your opponent's Tamers don't unsuspend during their unsuspend phase. So that means you could only really use a Tamer once without playing a new one. So that seems pretty good. This card has a ton of effects on it. So you would most definitely want to play this card in an Eosmon deck. And it's got the security that all Tamers have. If you've been watching this entire series, it's pretty much a 30-part series, I think, at this point, and you don't know what Tamers do for their security, I worry for your state of mind, I say. I worry for your state of mind. Either way, I need to place this over here. I hit this, and I don't like that. I hit this, and I don't like that. Anyway, we've got Big Mommy Mon, which isn't the evolution of Mommy Mon, since Mommy Mon is the, an ultimate. This is just kind of a slide evolution kind of thing. He is Mommy Mon, but very big and weird looking. But 10,000 for an ultimate ain't bad. Either way, he killed an entire building. He killed a building. There's probably a building Digimon in the series anyway. And he's also just hanging out with little Mommy Mons. Not actual Mommy Mons, but just little boys. So, no ability and no inheritable makes Frozen Breeze a very sad man. Anyway, MagnaKidmon. We've got Tropical Venom. Oh, it's got the cardinal sin of no security. But then again, it's a 0, so you can play this card for free. Main, one of your opponent's Digimon gains on deletion lose 2 memory until the end of their turn. I mean, I guess it could be useful, but it's kind of in a weird spot where it's got 0 memory, but doesn't have a security spot, and has at least passive ability, so not bad is the only thing I can say, really. Don't know if I'd ever use it. We've got Ferrismon, which I wanted to check real quick. Boogeyman is the champion level, and then this is the ultimate level, Ferrismon. I think this is the guy that actually showed up in Ghost Game. He showed up when in the episode where Ogremon evolves, at least into his champion level. He's like Satan and the devil, the stereotypical devil look. And he's just kind of floating around. No ability and no inheritable. He doesn't even have 10,000 DP. This guy is utterly dog shit. We've got Panjayamon, the sometimes ultimate level of Leomon, sometimes it's grapple Leomon, so it really depends on what they're feeling. Anyway, he's like Snow Leomon or Ice Leomon in other interpretations. So Panjayamon has no ability, but his inheritable says when attacking, once per turn, gain 1 memory. Very, very basic ability. Could be useful, but really, that once per turn thing kind of kills it. I would rather it gain 1 memory for each attack you could do, but that might be a little bit too OP. So, well, everybody's favorite, we got Nonimon. One of the most disgusting Digimon, along with Numemon and Sukamon. He's one of the ones where you could just fail and evolve into it. But I think Mamemon is meant to be, sometimes his ultimate. Depends. Anyway, Nonimon. What does that say up there? Future? I don't know. I don't know what it says on his head. I've never looked at that. Anyway, it says, security, at the end of battle, play this card without its memory cost. So, one of those weird security playing champions, but you must look at his DP. He's never going to win a single fight. He is at the level of a weak rookie. So, not a great card, but I think that's the joke. Parasaurusmon. Oh, got another one of the warriors. You see, they come out in such strange ways. Next adventure was BT7, so, and the first time they came out was BT4 with Great Legends. So, he just came out in a weird era. Kind of like how Randomon comes out in like parallel dimensions when nobody else comes out with her. So weird. Anyway, Arbormon, who's just kind of hanging out with Cherrymon, maybe he's just like, man, that guy's down bad, and he's like, I'm down bad. He's very sad. Anyway, Arbormon's ability is you may Digivolve this card from your hand onto one of your green Tamers as if the Tamer is level 3 Digimon. Basic. Very basic. Maybe Petaldramon's in this set, but really I don't see a point in using Arbormon over something like Beetlemon. Now we got Acid Injection from, I forget what this guy's called. Trying to remember. I forget his name. I forget it. Manticoremon or something, I think. Anyway, Acid Injection's ability is main trash the top card of your security stack. Then your opponent's Digimon gets one of your opponent's Digimon gets negative 5,000 DP for the turn. Security just says to add this to the owner's hand. I would have much rather this say like skip the trashing and just activate it, but you know, lackluster ability for a very big loss, trashing a security card. There's other cards that can go even deeper than that. Maybe if you're like trying to push somebody over the edge, could be worth it, but really not great. Just shows Manticoremon attacking that weird Ferrismon thing. So, okay, this one. I do have this one. I have the alternative art that's given with the Jesmon and Ragna Lordmon like starter pack combo. It has a really cool alternative art, but this is the regular Fly Bullet. It shows like that. This is Belle Starmon if you've never seen her before. It just shows a bunch of bullets with like her and Beelzarmon's like faces, like their weird masks on them, firing off. So they're pretty weird, deranged bullets, but you know, at least we finally got it. I actually ordered one of her cards, or her one card that comes from Double Diamond on TCG Player. So if I could get a second from opening up these packs, that would be pretty cool. Pretty cool. Anyway, Fly Bullet's ability, so I guess that 7 memory for Avenge Kidmon is for this. It says, if you have a Digimon with 3 musketeers and its types in play, you may use this option card without meeting color requirements. Main, delete one of your opponent's level 7 or lower Digimon. Security, activate this effect. So that's pretty good, saying that like if Avenge Kidmon's on the field, you can activate this without needing to even pay memory, and it can delete like an actual Mega, which is most likely what people are going to be putting on the field. Like Super Ultimates are not going to be on the field most of the time, so this is a really good card, I would say, for a combo. All right, we've got Ogremon. He's just eating random shit, and he's got Agumon taking him food. And you may be thinking, what's the connection between Agumon and Ogremon? But I'm guessing this is a reference to World 1, where a bunch of like Agumon followed around Ogremon, and I think I can even see like the back of the mines back there, so that's a pretty cool reference. Anyway, Ogremon's ability is on play, you may trash one card in your hand and delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. So I'm guessing the trashing part might be specifically for Underworld, like the Underworld's Call card that has Titanmon/Titanmon on it, so could be useful. Either way, Ogremon has no inheritable. So, let's see. Next up, we got his Entmon. I do have another Entmon in my binders, but this guy, I forget what he's even meant to be the ultimate to. Maybe sometimes an ultimate to Parasaurusmon, but I'm not quite sure right there. Anyway, he looks like a scary Eldritch Beast, which is pretty cool. Anyway, Entmon's ability is your turn. Once per turn, when this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle and survives, unsuspend it. So, pretty much turning Entmon into a double attacker. And 8,000 is better to have on a double attacker. So, sadly has no inheritable, but I definitely like the art of him, like, crushing random bugs around him. I don't like bugs either. He's a man after my own soul. Bugs die. You know, bees? What if we just eliminate all bees from existence? Like, sure, no more flowers, no more fruits, no more animals, because they'll die because they're unable to eat that. But, you know, no more bees. You know, it might ruin our entire ecosystem, but no more bees. Please, no bees. Whatever the fuck that means. Anyway, another Ferrismon. Alright, Eosmon ultimate level. I wonder, is Eosmon... I was looking at the Eosmons on the list, and I thought one of them said super rare. Maybe the mega level is super rare. Anyway, we got Dragomon, the I guess, unofficial, one of the unofficial villains of Adventure 2, since he kind of was in the Dark Ocean for one episode and never showed up again. Anyway, he's like a weird Cthulhu monster, but he's not as strong as like other shit, so he's not even as powerful as Cthulhu. Anyway, Dragomon's ability says, when Digivolving, return one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon with no Digivolution cards to its owner's hand. That might be a good pairing with a Zoolongmon, as its ability removes one card from everybody. So if you're like trying to get rid of like champions and stuff, that might be a good ability to go for. But other than that, Dragomon has no inheritable, so pretty fucking bad. Anyway, we got the original Ginkakumon. You can kind of see his gourd back there, because in Japan, it's kind of like a thing where they keep liquor in like the gourds and stuff. I think they even do that here in the West and stuff, but that's like an old Japanese thing. So kind of just showing him, you can kind of see how he would relate a little bit to Mervamon and Minervamon, but you'll definitely see it with Ginkakumon. Anyway, Ginkakumon has no ability, but his inheritable says, your turn once per turn, when you trash a card in your hand using one of your effects, gain 1 memory. So, not a bad ability. Next up, we've got Parabolic Junk. I've never actually seen that Digimon, whatever that is. Like, weird mole with a hard helmet. Anyway, Parabolic Junk is 0, but main, one of your Digimon gains, on deletion, gain 2 memory until the end of your opponent's next turn. Guess it could be pretty nice to put on like a Mega you know is going to die, or put it onto like a rookie that you want to die. So maybe it has retaliation on it, and you use this to like run it into something to kill both, but you get something out of it, so could be useful. Anyway, security just says add this card to the owner's hand, so kind of a lackluster card. Alright, we got that Moki Betamon again that doesn't really look like Moki Betamon. It looks more like a regular Betamon, so Alright, Ashuramon with, him trying to be Ashura from whatever religion that comes from. I think it comes from, like, Hinduism and Buddhism, if I remember correctly. So, because Buddhism is kind of just built on top of Hinduism, so interesting little stealing from history. Anyway, Ashuramon's ability is, when Digivolving, Blitz. So, just instant attack. He has no inheritable, so not great. Anyway, I got another Arbormon. We got Babamon, which just means Grandmamon, which is interesting. Usually you don't see Babamon being, nice. Usually in most games and animes it's seen as like the angry grandmother, but it's nice to see Babamon not be an angry asshole and just knitting something for Bodamon. So I think this card's pretty wholesome. Anyway, it's 10,000 DP, so kind of a weak Mega. But it says, on deletion you may play one Rosemon or up to 2 yellow level 3 Digimon from your hand without paying their memory costs. So probably playing the Rosemon would be a lot more useful. Either way, it's a nice, wholesome card. Alright, we've got Agumon, who's just kind of, chilling. He's got that, does he have that same thing? Yeah, he's got something to do with Bond of Bravery, or Bond of Bravery, yeah. Is, like, courage meant to be, like, bravery in the Japanese version? Because I've always not really known. Never really known. Anyway, he's just kind of, melancholy, I guess. Anyway, his ability is all turns, once per turn, when you play a Tamer with Kai Kamiya in their name. Kai Kamiya? Yeah. Tai Kamiya in its name, gain 1 memory. Then Inheritable says, your turn, while this Digimon is Agumon Bond of Bravery, it gains Security Attack +1. So, kind of just like the counterpart to, what's it called? Gabumon. So, alright, we got Ancient Troymon, which is another one of the ancient, the 10 legendary warriors, being, Arbormon's ancient evolution. It's literally just the Trojan horse as a Digimon, so interesting. Its ability says, opponent's turn, when an opponent's Digimon attacks, spend up to 2 of your Digimon without blocker. On deletion, you may play one green level 4 or lower Digimon card with hybrid in its name, and it's formed from your hand without paying its memory cost. So I guess you could just multiply into another Arbormon, but I haven't seen what Petaldragon even does. So I guess you could also use Petaldragon, but I don't know if he's even a card. So who knows? Anyway, last card is Pulsemon.
It's a pretty nicely designed one. It looks a lot more stylized with all the other Pulsemons kind of hanging out behind him. But Pulsemon's ability is, on play, you may trash cards from the top of your security stack until there are 3 left. Gain 1 memory for each security card trashed. That is... I mean, I guess yellow is meant to go to 3. Like, a lot of its abilities are like, do something at 3 or more, or 3 or fewer. So I guess you could instantly get to that, but that just... You just kill yourself in order to activate abilities, so I don't know, man. And this inheritable says, your turn, while you have 3 security cards, just exactly, this Digimon gains jamming. Might be able to be used with, like, Dynasmon to kind of combo into that whole, like, going down to 2, going back up to 3 kind of thing, so... Could be useful. I would really need to think about the situation it could be useful in. But either way, we've reached our allotted time, so... Next time on opening Digimon boosters, we'll be able to go a little bit faster since we've seen a lot of new cards in this one. So hopefully, we might be able to get Belle Starmon. Even if we can't get Belle Starmon, the Alphamon secret would be really awesome. And then, really, we gotta look out for the Bond Digimon. So, I'll see you guys next time.